Do you have a great idea for a podcast? Or maybe you already have a podcast, but you're getting overwhelmed with editing or production? Head over to EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. They have everything you need, from intros and outros to editing work, voiceover, you name it. That's EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. Podcasting simplified.
Over the course of my 40-plus years of life, I've made plenty of mistakes, some more egregious than others. Sorry again to the hotel cleaning staff in Washington, D.C. Every time I fucked up in my life, I learned something. Sometimes it's not easy, and other times it takes a little longer for the lesson to sink in. History has given us plenty of cute little sayings to remind us of this. For example, genius Albert Einstein said, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result." Philosopher George Santana is credited with the phrase, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." And fictional all-around superdad who died too young, Thomas Wayne, once said, "We fall so we can learn to pick ourselves up." My point is, life is tough, all aspects of it. And in order to figure out the right way through, you have to make some mistakes. If you fuck up, own it, learn from it, and move on. If, however, you're one of those people who keeps doing the same stupid shit over and over, then congratulations and buckle up. Because not only are you officially part of the learning curve for the rest of us, chances are you'll most likely end up being the topic of NSFW ridicule on this show. Now, Maestro, hit my fucking music.
Hello, welcome back to Needless to Say. I'm Craig. I'm here with my optimistic friend Dave and my pessimistic friend Brad.
When you got two friends like you, you'd be a pessimist too.
I don't know, Brad. It's not so bad.
I just find it funny. We do a segment every week called The Bright Side, and yet I look at you guys leave, and I'm like, there isn't one.
Here it is. They're gone.
There it is. That's a good point.
So, prove us wrong. Brad, how was your week?
Not bad, not bad.
Oh.
Are you really asking me first?
Yes.
Well, here's a positive answer for you. Wasn't a bad week.
Nice.
Wasn't a bad week. The only thing that, if anything had to be called bad, it would be that two people at this table decided to go on a cruise. That cruise that Dave was talking about in such immense detail last week. Craig and his non-child having wife decided, hey, guess what? I think we'll just go to the website and book ourselves the same fucking cruise.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey, Brad, why not? Come on. So I'm factoring in the children, and only because the government says I have to. I'm factoring in the cost of flights. I'm factoring in babysitting. I'm factoring in the food that we're going to need to get them. And I realize there's just too much to do to this house. So I cannot join you on this cruise as much as I want to. Now, the best thing that could happen is that when Melissa hears this next week, she'll say, Brad, you really should go.
Hey, that was a little bit of optimism. Did you hear it happen?
A little bit. But here's where reality comes crashing down. She ain't going to fucking say that. And now, when she hears this, I'm going to get the, hey, pause it. Do you really want to go? And when I say yes, then I'm not sleeping in my brand new bed.
Yeah.
So
I can sleep in the garage.
There you go.
Why not? I spend the rest of my time here.
There's a bunch of foam on the floor.
My only other news for the week, I had some farts that smelled like the Middle Ages.
Jesus Christ.
And I don't mean like the regal royal shit. I mean like out where the serfs lived, the peasants. And at first I thought it was the new cheese that my wife had bought me to try. Caramelized onion cheddar. What could go wrong?
Oh, yeah, that sounds healthy.
Fucking fantastic.
It's like high-test gasoline.
It created a layer of spackle in my lower bowel. That it was deadly. I even ushered the kids out of the room at one point. I'm like, you don't want to be here for this. I don't want you to remember Daddy this way. But it turned out it was the cheese. I guess I'm a little lactose intolerant, but the good news is it wasn't because of vaping.
Yep.
And with that, so I'm blown away that I got to go first. I never go first.
Yeah.
Not since the days of Mike, the
Yep.
days of yore.
The days of yore.
So, Craig, I'm going to bounce it right back to you, my friend. How was your week?
I was pretty good. Started off with, had a good time. Dave didn't go, but Brad we went to the Comedy Connection.
Comedy Connection, that's
You
right.
might want to rephrase that. I had a good time. Dave didn't go.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, no, that's what I meant. No, we went to the Comedy Connection, watched the screening of Undependent, which is a TV show by two local comedians, Derek Furtado and Ray Harrington. They shot a 2-episode pilot.
Some of you might remember Derek Furtado if you go to our Facebook page, and yes, we actually do update it every now and then. Craig and I did a video
Yeah.
a long time ago, back when we didn't trust Dave to film.
Rye bread.
Yeah.
And it was the cinnamon raisin bread cheddar challenge or whatever
yeah.
it was. And we had a good time doing that. And Derek really liked it. So, and the best part was when we met him at the show.
He wants to do another video.
Yes, he remembered it and wants to
Nice.
do another one with all of us. So that's going to be a good time. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, you let me go first. I'm kidding.
No, yeah. So that was fun. It was a good night. And then it went on. Dave's wife, Rayanne, called and said, hey, here's my information for the cruise if you guys decide you'd like to go. And with it, my wife came home. The second I said it to her, she was like, yep.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because it actually falls. It's in April,
Yep.
and that's my wife and I's 20th anniversary, and it's the same cruise we went on a honeymoon.
That's awesome.
So it was kind of like it wasn't a second. She said, let's do it. Because we haven't been anywhere in a while. We have, like that.
Right.
We've done a lot of like trips to New York, this and that. So she was like, do it.
Okay, between this and the pool, I got to ask, what's your monthly vodka bill? Something has changed. Something is amiss.
Yeah.
You know what? Cheers to you guys. Honestly, I'm jealous beyond belief. It's a year and a half out, and I'm going to spend the next 18 months being mad at all of you.
It's far away, but I mean, but it'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
I'm taking a month off before you guys go, and then probably a month and a half after.
I mean,
I don't want to listen to that shit.
The funny thing is, we're 8 rooms down the hall.
Oh, is it that close?
Yeah. Yep.
That's a little close.
That's pretty
It's a
cool.
little
You,
close.
you get to hear your cousin screaming.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be tough when I'm just sitting in the little chair in the corner watching them. I'm making sure that nothing happens. Yeah.
I think that's going to slow me down.
Did we hit rough waters? No, Dave had a good night.
Yeah.
Port side.
But no, it's fine. You guys are married. Whatever. I get it. my poor little cousin has to deal with that on top of her.
It's usually under her.
I hope so. I like her to live. No, so there was that.
It's funny. She started inviting people. She was listening to our last episode.
Yeah.
As soon as she heard it, that's when she sent the text. She didn't ask me about this. She just started inviting you guys.
Like, what the fuck?
She's invited her friends at work, too. So half of her friends from work could be on this cruise.
Well, I understand it. I mean, we invited all you guys to come to Vermont because I think, obviously we're going to have alone time and we're going to celebrate our anniversary. But do you know what we would do normally if it was just the two of us? We'd do a whole bunch of cool things and then we would come back here and talk to all of you about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So in my eyes, why not just have everybody come?
I get it.
The funny thing is that the 2 cruises that we've been on, both times we're like, this would be a lot more fun. I mean, we had a blast, but we always said this would be a lot more fun with more people, like some people that we know. You know what I mean?
And that's what she said. We're going to have fun regardless. But
Regardless,
if some of
yeah.
our friends were there, it's just going to make it more fun.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Then the only negative thing that happened to me was the pool guy. Now, I had talked about finally got everything going.
Right.
Then I'm texting this guy. He's not responding to me.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
I don't need him to. I didn't need it to be immediately, but by the next day, the day after, I'm not getting anything. I'm calling the office, leaving messages, and nobody's calling me back right away. And I'm like, this is a lot of fucking money. to not have any communication. This is a huge project at my house.
Right.
And a lot of money. I need communication. So when I called and said that to him, the woman was like, "Oh, I understand. I'll have him call you right away as soon as he comes in today." I said, "Okay." Nothing. So the next day I called back and she said, "Oh, he didn't call you? I'll have him call you today." I said, "No, I was calling to tell you to actually just get rid of the proposal because I'm not dealing with it."
Done.
I said, "I'm done." And she was like, "Well, I like it." I said, "No." I said,
Isn't that what Fran's dad said to you when you guys got married? Get rid of the proposal.
Yeah.
Nobody could blame him.
No,
Sorry.
yep. But so that was it, and I was done. But then this has just been a great week. Other than that, because the best thing happened today before this episode.
What was that?
Nothing could be this. I mean, this is like totally.
Well, set the table. Explain your outfit.
Okay. I have a shirt on right now. Now, you've heard us talk about Birdemic before. And
9 out of the last 10 episodes.
Yeah, and you heard me talk about how last week we talked about how I joined the Alan Barr fan club page and got you guys to join. And now Joey B has happily jumped on board, and I love it. I'm excited.
Joey Barr.
Yep. So I got a T-shirt. And it's got Alan Barr's picture, and it's in that fashion of the Obama,
like the Obama presidency shirt.
Shirt. And at the bottom, it says, "Vote Barr president for 220." Well, for 2020, not 220.
I'm pretty sure Barr said 220.
Yeah. And so I wore it tonight. And these guys noticed it the second I wore
you walked
the second right away. Dave was like, "Is that a Barr shirt?"
As soon as your shirt got out of the shadow of your neck, I could see it.
And so Dave, right away, Brad's like, "We got to take a picture of it and put it on Instagram," and we did.
It's funny because we've been talking the last day or two about how do we use social media better, and that kind of answered that question as well.
And we posted it to Instagram, and within 5 minutes, Alan Barr liked the post.
Now, I know what you're all thinking at home, but isn't he busy filming?
Yeah. Yes,
It
probably.
Turns out it was just one of those serendipitous moments. We caught him in between takes.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
The last take was February
2016.
No, come on now. Leave the guy alone. He works hard.
Everybody else is.
No. These guys are awful.
Alan, we're just kidding.
He's done more acting than I have.
Exactly. He's been in more movies than everybody at this table.
I disagree. You pretend to laugh at Craig's jokes every week.
No, you know what? I actually respect the guy for the fact that he doesn't take himself overly seriously with the Birdemic thing, and he supports all the people that like the movie, and he knows what it is.
He's having
not fooling
fun.
himself. He's having fun with it, and guys got business degrees. He's not some just crazy guy. The guy's living a great life.
Those are the shoes you fill.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah,
the guy's living a good life, and he's enjoying himself.
Well, he managed to get on Instagram and get a bunch of psychos following him.
Yep.
That's the dream, right?
Hey, my hat's tipped,
Nice.
Brad, to Alan Barr.
Well done.
Shots fired.
That's right.
Or as they do in an Alan Barr movie, a flashlight flashes.
Yep.
Before this gets ugly, Dave, how was your week?
My week's been all right. I've noticed a couple silly things with the 2-year-old. So this entire
Fuck
week,
you, man.
What?
I'm right here.
I said 2 years, not 2 inches.
From the ground.
When you're laying. Hi.
No,
How was your 9th grade?
Yeah.
Mine was good.
I don't know how to smoothly segue from Craig's dick to my 2-year-old.
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
all
just
right.
too excited.
Don't apologize
about
to me. Apologize to your family.
I'm just.
I think you can make it up to him by mounting his cousin.
Yeah. You're quickly turning into that uncle that no one lets their kids hang around. No, you can't eat those Fruity Pebbles he's giving you.
Yep.
Anyway, this week, there's you guys probably don't know, but on Nick Jr. there's a cartoon called Peppa Pig.
Oh, I know.
It's one of those like British cartoons. It's perfect for her age. But I've noticed her starting to say words that she's learning with an English accent. So there's a turtle. On the show, there's a pet turtle. It's a tortoise.
Yeah.
That they, with their British accents, they call it a tortoise. So she'll look at the TV and be like, tortoise. I'm like, no, that's my kid with the Rhode Island British accent.
Yep.
There's absolutely no hard consonants.
No.
At all.
Tortoise.
Dad, get the aluminium foil, please.
Yeah. And she's at that age now. She's pretty much 2. She turns 2 next month.
Yep.
So she is a little parrot, which basically she will say anything she hears. So the other night when I was, she doesn't. But the other night when I was like, God damn it, I hear in the other room, God damn it, in her little voice. I'm like, oh
nice.
No. Yeah, see, that's why Uncle Craig doesn't come over by himself.
I already told you the story. Ethan, when he was 2, was like, where are my goddamn socks? One of the best stories he ever had.
It's so good. This morning, it kind of came to a head. I was logging into work in my office, and she was with me, and my laptop's having trouble connecting. So I had to call our help desk, the IT guys.
Yep.
2 hours.
Hello, David. How you doing today?
I wish that would have been more fun. It's some guy up in New Hampshire. It honestly, he sounded like Wayne.
Yeah.
Could have been Wayne.
Could have been.
As I'm talking to this guy and he's figuring out the issues, I got the baby behind me watching cartoons, and there's a show about a cuckoo clock and a bird. So she's trying to pronounce cuckoo clock while I'm on the speakerphone with the tech. So every 6-7 seconds or so behind me, you just hear cuckoo cock, cuckoo cock, constantly. And I'm like trying to just play it off. Everything's cool.
Yeah.
Just
no one's
talking
yelling
over
cock in the background.
No, I'm talking to this guy like I'm sitting in an office with other adults around me. Like it's not even happening.
I really wish a big one flew into the screen at that moment. That cock's bigger.
Yeah. Ooh, big cock.
Big cock.
Yeah. So that's been making me chuckle this week. But the most interesting part of my week
was the HR call that happened right after.
That's coming Monday. Halfway through the week, something happened to me. It wasn't anything ridiculous, but it was one of those situations where I would have normally just handled it. But I don't know if it's because I've been hanging out with you two idiots too long or what's been happening. But before I reacted, my first thought in my head was, I wonder how Craig would handle this. And that got me thinking. So I reached out to Brad and we came up with a game.
Yes.
And the game's called What Would Craig Do? And here's how it's going to work. Brad and I are first going to read how we think you'd react, and you have to guess what the situation is.
Okay.
So we're going to basically recite how we think you would handle a situation, and based on what we say, you have to guess what the situation was.
I feel like digging up Bob Eubanks. Is he dead?
Yeah.
It just seems like something him or Peter Tomarkin would do.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Dave, lead off.
All right, lead off. So this is kind of the scenario that got me going.
You guys have blindsided me here.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, though.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So how I thought you'd react to the situation was you would Patrick Swayze roundhouse kick the shampoo bottle while screaming like Daniel Stern in Home Alone.
Wait, don't guess yet.
No. So now Brad is going to tell you how he thinks you'd react to the same situation.
I said Craig would pee on his feet and frantically beg his cat for help. What's the scenario? You don't feel so special now, do you?
Yeah,
long drag on the cigarette.
Either the shower water was too hot, or I zipped myself up my zipper.
Why are you wearing jeans in the shower?
All right, no. So I'm in the shower. Say yours again.
Really? We got to repeat this?
Well,
You'd Patrick Swayze roundhouse kick the shampoo bottle while screaming like Daniel Stern from Home Alone.
shampoo got shampoo in my eyes.
Nope. Sorry. Turns out this week I got to the shower and there was a spider hanging out in the shampoo bottle.
Oh, no. Yeah, you should have said burn the house down. Or a for sale sign in the front lawn.
Well, the good thing about this segment is that while that actually happened to Dave, the conversation didn't end there.
No.
We decided to come up with a few other scenarios and wonder, what would Craig do?
What would Craig do? Brad, why don't you take the second one?
I will. Okay, the reaction would be slow, steady welling of tears in his eyes, followed by an emotional call to his mother. Dave?
And I thought you would spray WD-40 on it because it was the only thing around and then say, giddy up.
What's the situation, Craig?
I zip my dick up my zip.
I'm sensing a theme.
I feel like we should give Craig some gauze before he heads home.
All right.
We should take some of that foam that keeps falling off the garage door.
That's from China. You don't want that on your dick.
Spray some WD-40 on it and giddy up. Cry and call my mom.
What would happen that would make you do all of the above?
I'm trying to think.
Oh, that's what's taking so long.
That explains the cigarette
There's
smoking itself.
there's a lot of situations.
What's the first one that you thought of?
That's the issue right there. I don't know.
Dave?
Well, it turns out Fran just wanted to have sex with you even though you didn't shave.
And I could totally imagine you calling, maybe not your mother, but I could see you calling your sister in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah.
You won't believe what just happened.
Yeah.
All right, you're not doing so well, buddy. You don't know yourself that well.
No, you have no self-awareness.
Well, dude, there's a lot of things that could
Which
apply.
is not a good thing in your favor.
I'm like, there's so many options right now.
There were so many things that would make you karate kick a shampoo bottle.
It happened.
Which is why
I
this
kicked
game's
the
so
shampoo
fun.
bottle so hard that there was fucking shampoo all over the ceiling.
At least that's what he's told Fran. It's shampoo. I swear, I kicked the bottle.
If you shot like that all the time, you wouldn't be so excited to have sex. All right, anyway, Dave, take scenario 3.
All right, let's see how you did with this one. So I thought you would tell Fran to come see, but she just takes pictures, sends them to everyone, and says, I knew it.
And I said Craig would grab his chest, violently twitching, screaming, yes, this is it.
So what's just happened in Craig's life for this to happen?
We're painting pictures here.
Yeah.
It helps at home if you picture a tall, pink Victorian house
Yeah.
next
So I'm
to a
calling
graveyard.
Fran to come and see it.
Yep.
Let's repeat them.
All right, I said you tell Fran to come see, but she just takes pictures, sends them to her friends, and says, I knew it.
And I said you grab your chest, violently twitching and screaming, yes, this is it.
Yeah, like, yes, this is it. Like that?
There are no further clues.
Okay.
Let's go with that since that's your reaction. Let's narrow it down.
There's a fire in the corner of my house. No.
How could you be so bad at this? The actual answer was Craig finally did enough yoga to lick the tip of his own dick.
That's how it would go down. These guys are good. That's exactly how it would go down. These guys are fucking good, man.
Well, let's see how good we are. Right now, we're 75% out of
Yeah, but
100.
still.
We got one more.
We know him better than he does. That's what's
That's
happening.
the scary part.
We got one more. Dave, you got to lead off on this
All
one.
right, last one. This one should be a layup.
Yeah.
All right, so I thought you would join right in and chant loudly.
And I thought you would immediately hug the first person you see saying, I miss you, Mike. What's the scenario, Craig? I think he knows it.
He knows it. He knows.
He totally knows it.
Go ahead, say
I'm
it.
not saying it. Go ahead.
No.
I'll tell you if you were right.
How about we'll tell you if you're right?
I'm not saying it. I have a text with my wife.
Why is Mike there?
That's what I was trying to think.
Why are you chanting?
No, that's. I got thrown off at first. Go ahead.
Turns
What is
out
it?
Craig happens upon a white supremacist rally.
And that was his second guess, apparently. He's making a face right now.
That was it, wasn't it? You knew it.
You're going to edit it out, but Craig's first guess was way better.
Yeah.
Way better and way creepier. Way creepier.
Is that what your first guess was?
It's something like that. Yeah. It was a Trump rally.
I would have given you credit for that.
Yeah, Trump rally would have worked.
I would have given you
Instead,
credit.
he decides to come in with the whole shaka do you.
I would. Well, because I was like, I don't know. It was weird. I kind of got thrown off when I had you read it to me the second time.
You thought about it way too much.
Yeah, I went too deep.
No, that's
Has never come out of his mouth, his wife's mouth. It's new territory, those words.
the only time she says go deeper is when she throws him off the cruise that you guys are all going on.
What scares me is
How
these guys
long
were
it took
spot
you?
on.
Yeah.
With the reactions. Like, because to pick the scenario is tough.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, there's a lot of scenarios that could have.
You want to hear the crazier part? Dave came up with this 3 days ago
Yep.
because that happened to him.
That's what happened. I walked in the shower and there was a spider out. And
We
I
did-
legit was like, oh.
We did the remaining 3 in about 4 minutes
Yeah.
today.
After my class this afternoon, about 4 o'clock. Yeah. But
That's
that's
scary.
My lead-in, I wasn't lying. Like I saw this little spider in the shower, and before I did anything, I paused and I was like, "Oh, what would Craig do?" And I pictured you burning the house.
Sit on the stairs and wait for Fran to come home, all wet with a towel around my waist.
I killed one the other night that the dog was chasing and it had visible fur from across the room.
For sale sign right in the front lawn.
So you've got 9 minutes of editing for this episode so far.
Sorry.
You stammering fuck.
It wasn't easy.
Well,
Like
it
I
wasn't
said,
easy.
No, it wasn't.
It was not
'Cause
easy.
There was a lot of, like, the shampoo bottle thing was like, I've kicked 1,000 shampoo bottles in the shower.
Why?
I've kicked shit in my shower. I knocked the fucking doors off. Well,
dirty do you get?
Well, one of the doors. No, I was angry.
In the shower?
Yeah. Shit
What's
happens.
happening to you?
Yeah, slip, bang your head, bend it over to pick something up, you hit your head, bang your elbow, fucking freak out.
Small as your shower.
Where do you shower? Prison? What is this?
I can't wait. I'm actually going to sit outside his room on the cruise ship to listen to him shower in that tiny little half a closet.
There'll be lots of angry
You just fucking
shit
soap
happening.
up the walls and step in and spin around in circles.
Fran screaming, get your balls! Third rotation.
She's just dumping cups of water over the top on him.
Couldn't get the Lido deck.
Yep.
All right, so that wasn't easy, though.
No, it wasn't, because like I said, a lot of those things had so many scenarios.
Okay,
attached
well, we've
to them.
established that. But and it turns out that was actually, whether you meant it or not, and I know you didn't, this was an actually good segue for the week. Because
It
it
was.
turns out a lot of things this week really weren't all that easy.
No.
No.
There was a lot of weird, disparate headlines that we didn't know what to do with. There was some themes and things we wanted to talk about that we didn't know what to do with. On their own, they made sense. Coming together is kind of like a puzzle. It didn't come together.
Yeah, it was all like a third at bat before we got things lined up decently.
Yeah, we're usually pretty good about this. We weren't this week. It was an 11th hour kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it
But
was.
it did come together because the common thread was, you know what, shit ain't easy.
No.
Like keeping that foam up on the garage door that keeps falling down. I'm still winning, by the way.
But I hung those 3 back up. Mm-hmm. You would be down to 2. I would be ahead by 1.
Anywho. So one of the, some of the headlines we looked at this week, we realized relationships aren't easy. And Dave, why don't you give us the first headline of the week? With this one really jumped at me the way it jumped at her.
Not even full relationship status. So a man who survived a bison goring goes on a date, and his date then gets attacked by a different bison.
Yeah, and Gored.
And Gored.
And
By a show of hands, how many people have seen more than one bison in your life? I see a lot of creatures out here. We had a skunk feet from this table.
Yeah.
I've never seen a buffalo just wander through here.
And you ran from that skunk like it was a bison. Yeah.
I'd take my chances with the bison. If
yeah.
you got lateral movement, you're all right.
Yep.
But apparently this one didn't. She walked straight at it and said, wait a minute, is that the same guy that took you out? And then proceeded to get gored on her first date, which incidentally, he didn't get to gore her because of that.
That was my thing. He was planning on doing all the goring.
Yeah, he was.
He wanted her fucking skull on his mantle.
Yeah. No,
Or at least her forehead.
I've slammed a date's hand in the car door on the first date.
Oh.
Does that count?
Slamming it doesn't count. Driving for 8 minutes while it's still in the door with bent metal around it counts. And I'm only making this reference because you did that. Yeah. You can't just say you slammed somebody's hand in the door. You bent a car frame around a date and you went out with her for how long, Craig?
We drove pretty far.
No, how long did you go out with her?
Oh, like 3 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And no, it's not Fran.
It's because she was afraid to leave.
She couldn't. Her hand was in the door.
Every time you drop her off, she thinks you're going to throw it in reverse and take her out.
Craig's threat to her, he just opened the trunk.
Yep. No, we took off, and then she looked like horrible. She looked like she had tears in her eyes, and not like she wasn't saying a word. She was trying to smile through the pain. I'm like, what's the matter? My hands in the door. God damn.
So what did you help her in the passenger side?
Actually,
shut the door?
We were with a few people. It was like a double date.
Okay.
And when she got in the car, I opened the door. She got in the car. I got in. I shut the door. She still had her hand on the hood.
What? That's what I'm asking. Where were you in the car? Was she in the front passenger seat?
Yeah.
Okay. Where you were driving?
No.
Oh.
I was actually in the front passenger. She kind of hopped in with it. It was one of those big car.
So you had the bench seat in the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And there was a few of us, and we were going out, and she got in and shut the door, and she didn't say a word at first.
Was she in first? Or were you in first?
I was in.
You got in the car
I opened the door, right?
And you sat down?
And then I said I'd sit in the middle because my buddy was driving. You know what I mean? So I was I sat in the middle.
She wasn't comfortable skiing yet?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What a tremendous date so far. You got your buddy fucking chaperoning.
We were going to pick up. That was the thing, is we were going to pick up her friend, which was going on the date with him.
What were we going to do? Ram her head into the gas cap?
That was the plan. We were 16.
She's waiting out front. Swerve to the right.
We were 16, so she just hopped in the front with me.
Oh, because that explains it.
And then
you pick her up with the hood.
Yeah. When she got in, she put her hand on the top of the. I didn't know her hand was on the roof still, and I pulled the door closed. And now think about the car had a bench seat. That's a heavy fucking old car.
So you kind of leaned over her, grabbed the door, and shut it.
Yeah, being a gentleman.
Pinned her hand between layers of steel.
You maimed her, grazed her tit.
The door shut.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
We drove away.
Did her fingertips fall off in her house?
No, it didn't even land on her fingers. It was right across the top of her hand.
Oh my God!
Her thumb was just sticking out on the inside a little bit.
So you got a nub job that night?
Yeah, I was going to say, this was a one-knuckle special, huh?
Her wrists are so soft.
That poor girl.
She washes her hands in palm olive.
Yeah. It was horrible.
I can't believe you got a chance to tell this story again.
Yeah.
We've done it 3 times on the show already. But nobody listens to those episodes, so it doesn't matter. All right,
anyway.
Back to the buffalo.
Oh, right, the bison.
That's right, there was a bison.
There was a point to the story.
Well, the fact that this guy felt that it was a perfectly appropriate first date scenario to go back to the scene of the crime. Yeah. Where he got gored by a wild buffalo. He said, if I get gored by a wild buffalo, I'm avoiding that park entirely. And I'm certainly not bringing a date that I'm hoping to bang there. And that's exactly what he was doing. He was looking for a dark, secluded
course he
spot where he
was.
could absolutely have his way with her and then do what men do. And then hopefully she's not going to scream.
See, in his head, he's thinking, it took the rescue 43 minutes to get here. That's plenty of time.
Plenty of time. We could do it
twice.
We could do
Three
it
times.
twice, and I can diddle her ass.
Yeah.
If she's stuck in the door, I can do more.
But like if you get, if you like decide you want to fuck somebody on the tarmac of an airport, and then you get hit by a plane, you don't take your next date back to the airport. And that's exactly what happened. There was a buffalo there with a vendetta, and he decided that's it. Or I'm sorry, am I saying buffalo when I mean bison?
Bison.
That's right.
Well, that's the thing. When the fuck was this date? Like, when the fuck do you go with this bison? I get it, like Yellowstone Park and shit, but still.
Yeah, they were in Utah.
Yeah, but like,
so that's why they were hiding, because they didn't want the fucking storming Mormons coming through.
yeah,
Right. They would have showed up like, hey, where's your other 3 dates?
yeah.
We've got 7 other people showing up here, but let's set the mood.
Kid had 6 first dates in one night at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think the good thing is now she's got one more hole, so there's no pressure for anal.
Come on, try it. Could be worse.
Could be worse.
I want you to get me right in the fleshy part of the thigh.
Hey, it's not your kidney.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus. That's awful. That's freaking awful.
I think deep down, all 3 of us were hoping that bison would be this week's soup.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance.
No.
Dave, this next headline was yours. I'm going to let you lead it in.
Oh, yeah.
This one might actually provoke a little more discussion, especially after hearing about Craig's sex life.
Yeah.
It doesn't involve any yoga, but we'll see what happens. So the headline reads, doctors say intimacy anorexia, and there's little air quotes there, may be the leading cause behind sexless marriages. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's basically using one phrase to describe another phrase.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So it's like, oh, black is just as bad as charcoal. It's the same thing. It doesn't make any sense.
Colorless.
Yeah.
It's like saying little people when you mean midget.
Yeah.
Okay, and can we all be... Actually, you know what? We haven't done this in a while. Midget.
Midget.
There it is. I realize that maybe some people find it offensive, but when you're saying little person, in the back of your head, you're saying, don't say midget.
Yeah.
Okay, don't say dwarf. Don't say midget. Don't say dwarf. Come on now. It's kind of where we're at. I think the idea of coming up with intimacy anorexia is another way of making people feel better about the fact that they're bored as
Like
fuck
they have
in their
an
marriage.
issue.
Yeah.
It's not a condition. It's okay to be bored in your marriage. If you've been with the same woman for 20 years or the same man for 20 years and you're just not feeling it, you really can't blame yourselves. And as I'm coming up on my 13th anniversary,
Yeah.
I can assure you that's not the case here, but I can see how that might happen.
Maybe a cruise isn't such a bad idea.
Yeah. And the thing is, too,
Well,
it's
once
not,
this episode airs, I'm going to be
never-
single anyway, so I'm calm.
I would call mine more bulimic.
You have sex and you
Why? Because
puke?
Fran throws up every time it happens?
As soon as we're done, she throws up and we're good. No, but we fucking binge. You know what I mean? like it'll be like a couple of weeks of like craziness, and then it just slows down, and then
Once you're out
it
of
goes-
ice packs, you start over again.
Yeah, and then you know what I mean. It's like comes in with. Now I've been with my wife since 1992. You know what I mean?
God damn.
So I mean, granted, there was a gap in there. It was 2.5 year gap. We broke up.
What was the gap in the door where you closed your hand?
So, and we're coming up like I said. It's just, it's this April will be our 19th anniversary. The April we go on the cruise is going to be our 20th anniversary, and I love my wife to death. There's nothing in the world, I'm just, I'm happy as can be. Mm-hmm. Am I banging her 8 times a week? No, No. I don't want to.
And she doesn't want to either.
No.
But that's not for lack of intimacy or wanting to.
It's shit to do. Gonna
Right.
go to bed.
Like when you have two people that are two people that are working,
Yep.
right? They spend all day working. That was a professional dig. Craig didn't get it.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
A professional would have.
Yeah. When you have two adults that are working 8 hours a day, but your day starts an hour and a half before that and realistically ends an hour after that, you get home and you're fucking done.
Yeah.
Like every night's not the same. When you're 21 or 22 and you meet someone, it's exciting, it's new.
Yeah.
You've got energy for fucking days.
Yep.
You can stay up and fucking party 3 nights a week. Like we talk about it now after this show, it takes me till Sunday afternoon to feel like, okay, I can go have some water and not choke from drinking all night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just things change. It's not for lack of desire. Now, what this article is talking about, and I hate that they use the word doctors, because it's probably one or two people at best
It's psychologists.
that came up
They're
with
not
some
doctors.
term for people. Yeah,
They're not doctors.
they came up with a
I'm
term
sorry.
to describe people that never enjoyed their marriage or never should have been married.
Yeah, there's a difference there.
Not everything needs a fucking cause.
Right.
Yeah.
Or label.
Yeah, sometimes it's just what it is. It's perfectly okay to say. I mean, we're animals, first and foremost. Are we not?
Yes.
We're not meant to be monogamous. I would love to believe that we were all meant to be monogamous. We've trained ourselves as human beings to be monogamous.
Yep.
We're not supposed to be that way. And don't get me wrong, I believe in it. I genuinely do. I don't believe in cheating, and if I ever get cheated on, forget it.
Yeah,
Game
no,
over.
I agree with that 100%.
But I got to tell you, I get annoyed with the fact that they're looking for excuses for human behavior.
Yeah.
When in reality, we're just a bunch of animals. And every now and then, you know what? You can't. I love steak. You can't have steak every night.
Yep.
You eat steak every night for 19 years. Eventually, you're going to want something else. And so, I that's not a shot at the people we married. It's just the way it is. This guy is trying to get famous for creating a term and creating
Yes.
a condition that doesn't exist.
He's going to write a fucking book about it.
Right.
And try to get it published and fucking be, you know.
And ebbs and flows. You said
Yeah.
it yourself. You do feast or famine.
Yeah.
You know, either you guys are all over each other and then you say, okay, time out. I hurt.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
we've had those moments too. We had one weekend where we were binging that show Brotherhood that was filmed in Providence.
Yeah.
Missed the entire second season because I couldn't stay off of her.
Yeah.
For reasons I still don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, they're in our town. Well, and I'm jackrabbiting her.
Yeah.
And then, like, she'd be like, enough. And I'd go jerk off. Because I still, I was fucking insatiable in this, like, 3-room apartment in Providence. And I'm
Yeah.
like, they're in our town. We're so special. It's fucking Jason Isaacs, who's not even from America. But anyway, that aside, I want to start punching these guys and give them a good throat punch. It's getting old. Not everything has a problem. Not everything is a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, a lot of it is like I said, me and my wife have been together, 18 years. Married,
Right.
18 years. Been together way longer than that. We've had more fucking sex than you could shake a stick at. I mean, insane, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like we're like, I don't want to. Sometimes I go home. My wife is like 9 o'clock. My wife is out like a light on the couch sleeping.
That's the best time.
You know? Oh, it's happened.
You ever wake her up and be like, can I just use you?
Yeah.
I don't feel like paying for the fleshlight. Can you be one?
Yeah. And
$50 seems extreme.
it does. Yeah.
If something feels really cold, just ignore it. It'll warm up.
Yeah. And there's just that thing, like she's out like a light. I'm sitting there on the couch. I'm watching TV until, 11, 12, sometimes 1, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I'm not like, oh, fuck. Like, oh, I needed to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to wake up and go to work. And fucking, that's it.
You're just like, I'm going to fill her up tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
Just stockpiling.
I just love that he used do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever go up to her and just be like, you want to do it?
All the time.
Do you really?
All the time.
He would.
That's what I like.
Wearing a T-shirt that says like "totally rad."
I'm like, oh, what are you doing right now? Want to do it? I say it to him all the time.
Melissa likes using boink.
Boink.
I don't know.
That's way worse.
Every now and then I'll just get clinical. I'm like, I really need to ejaculate. I need you to make this
He whips
happen.
out a spreadsheet.
Melissa, say pivot table.
He's gonna fucking PowerPoint think why they should do it tonight.
Let me tell you one thing, though. She's always seen me excel.
Yeah.
Word. You want to see my PowerPoint? It'll give you a whole new outlook.
Oh my God, it's getting worse. It's getting worse.
Yeah. Because it's probably true.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm going to create a spreadsheet that says boink. It was just right there.
There's a file on his desktop just says boink. You open it, it's a spreadsheet.
She spreads all right. This is all coming out.
Not if you push hard enough.
I'm going to be on a singles cruise next year.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, speaking of beating off,
Well, yeah, your personal lives aren't the only things that are hard.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Changing careers can be hard too.
That's right. Well, Boy Meets World turned into Man Meets World.
Man meets girl
Yes.
twice.
Men meet
Yeah.
This headline took me by surprise, but I'll be honest with you. If there's a clickbait headline, it's this is it.
Yeah.
It's Boy Meets World star Maitland Ward is doing porn now. Now, I don't think she was a major player on the
No,
show.
she was Topanga's roommate.
Oh, and like in college?
Yeah.
So that's when I tapped
Everyone is
out.
hoping that it was Topanga. They're like, oh, what was that actress's name?
Yeah.
Is that her? It's not.
Well, let me
If
tell
it
you a
was,
story.
she had a great name. It would be Topanga.
Oh,
That would be a great porn name.
I was thinking Topanga Canyon. I actually had an interesting story. My best friend in the world is an actress out in L.A. I met her in college, and I met her on the day
Yeah,
I
I know
went
what
to
you're
college.
talking about, yep.
And she lived with Danielle Fishel, who played Topanga.
Yeah.
For like a year, they were roommates, and they were ships in the night. They never saw each other. They weren't friends. It was just a convenience thing. But I remember saying, you need to get photos of you in Topanga. And she got insulted because she's like, this is the first time you've never not wanted to do me. And honestly, no. I mean, she's a good friend, and she never did it. She didn't feel comfortable doing
you
it.
didn't, your response should have been, no, you'll be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Filming and participating.
No, but if it was Rachel Ward, you would have been there.
Yep.
Well, this Maitland Ward apparently,
Maitland.
she was like this
No,
weird
it's-
bit part actor
yeah.
later. She didn't do much after that, but suddenly, out of nowhere, she decided, "Hey, I'm going to do porn, and I'm going to advertise the promotion of a release of a porn movie."
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
Not
still
just-
exist.
Not just
Yep.
that she decided to do porn, but now she's basically making a press release like, hey, guess what I'm doing
Guess
now?
what I'm doing, yeah.
I mean, that's what a way to get not
But-
your name out, but promote yourself, I guess.
Yeah, and I have a quote from her, and it is, I read the script.
Say no more.
Hold on. It's not. I read the script, and I was like, this is really well written. This is so many themes. There are so many themes in this, and just my character is so different than anything else I've portrayed before. Of course it is.
You were someone's 8-year-old sister before.
The director never asked you to put his dick in your mouth. At least not on camera. What the? Of course it was different.
No one said to her, how does this feel instead of your retainer?
Yeah.
And they found them both in the dumpster the next day.
Do you think you could fit two?
Holy shit.
And then, What lines did she have? Put your cock in my fucking face.
I like the part where she went, to be or not to be?
She's like, I had to breathe through my nose and everything.
You had me. Hello.
She studied for 6 weeks to breathe through her nose.
She had to do scuba training.
Yeah.
Emote.
Oh my God.
What's my motivation? You want his load on your face. You're not going to be happy until he gives you all of that baby batter.
Was my mouth open enough? Was my tongue out? I think we need to do that scene again.
If you get this right, this wheelchair's for you. It's free.
I don't feel like we'd be doing anal at this point in the relationship. I feel like there's way more conversation to be had. Before he plugs my ass in a fluorescently lit room.
What's the script that got her interested?
That was
ridiculous.
a direct quote.
Did you just say an erect quote?
I read the script and I was like, this is really well written.
Well, apparently she wasn't old enough to read scripts the last time she acted, so she doesn't know
exactly.
the difference.
Did you see the treatment for that? Like, fucking interior, doorbell rings. Exterior, pizza guy. Opens the door. Interior. Whore opens door. No name, just says whore. Opens door.
What's sad is that the production got held up because she kept screaming out, "Finger me, Feeny."
Yeah.
And then she kept waiting for Sean to be on the other side of the door complaining about his dad.
I'm the one with dad issues, right?
What the fuck?
Oh my God. But what's incredible is no one knew who she was until this week.
Yep.
Until this week.
I'm sure you'd recognize it.
When I saw her face in a thing, I kind of recognized her.
But you weren't like,
and I was
Boy
wait.
Meets World.
No. If you didn't say it was Boy Meets World, I would have never known.
No.
Till they said it, and when I looked at it, I was like, Boy Meets. I was like, I don't remember because right away I thought Topanga.
Right.
Know?
When you see
So
her
I looked
face,
at,
you're
then
like,
I'm like, oh shit, that was Topanga's roommate. That's who that was, and I didn't know who her name was, and I went back and looked.
yeah. It's
and it
like
was like
every time
Rachel
I
or
filter
whatever.
redheads, she shows up. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
When you're jerking off thinking about Topanga's tits, she's there too.
I typed in Wad, and Ward came up.
Maitland Ward.
Yeah.
What a great fucking porn name. What would your porn name be? Do you have one?
Jackhammer.
There it is. It's more of a 70s vibe, but you're old, so it works out.
Exactly.
What would yours be?
You know, I don't know. I've never actually thought of being in there. I always thought of myself as the guy on the side applauding and then trying to make them more believable. I really wanted to work with the Maitland Wards of the industry.
You were the
always
guy
wanted
trying
to-
to like make friends and save
I
the
always
porn
wanted
stars.
to work behind the scenes. I'm really into the film the craft. Towel boy. Luber.
Luber.
I just love that it's an industry where the worst cameramen are the ones that have to go in close.
It's your first day. Get down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's ram cam time.
They're like, second cameraman, huh? That guy took one to the face.
We call this the splash cam.
Where's the lead cameraman? He's up there doing the fucking panoramics.
Yeah.
He's setting the table.
He's wearing a hazmat suit.
Is this a porn or Chernobyl?
And by the way, Dave, your porn name would be Eddie Plower. I can't come up with one for myself, though. I feel like that's something you guys have to give me.
Jesus. Eddie Blower.
It was a lot better than Gay Crew.
Oh my god.
Oh, God. Thank you, Maitland Ward.
Brad Slit.
Yep.
Brad Slit. What is that? Wow. I'm not even a porn star. I'm just like a fucking hooker in a bad town.
I was just trying to come up with
Brad
one
Slit.
off the top.
I don't even get that.
Bradley Pooper.
There it is. Way better. Way better. That's way better.
Sorry.
First movie, A Star Is Porn.
American Sniper.
American Sniped Her. I love it.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
We have achieved soup.
Yeah.
Bradley Pooper.
That's fantastic. I've never had pooper attached to my name and me applauding it quite like I did just there. That was a good save. Brad Slit wasn't clear. It just sounded like I worked in like Terre Haute. Working street corners outside of like the one brew pub in town. Holy shit. So again, thank you, Maitland Ward, for being yourself.
Yeah.
A giant whore.
Well, what was crazy was I beat off to the video 2 times before I knew who she was on the show. She was redhead and semi-famous. That's all it took.
Then he watched it 12 more times after. Oh, shit. Speaking of another whore.
Why not?
Sports reporter lands a new TV gig 3 years after viral racist comments.
Here we go again.
Yep.
Another censorship talk. But this one, I kind of think she earned this one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess. But go ahead, Craig.
This was she was Barstool Sports, correct?
Yeah,
She was working for a network. She agreed to go on a Barstool Sports TV interview or a video or some kind of viral thing.
She wasn't working for Barstool Sports.
Yeah, Emily Austin. Right.
And she had said some pretty rough things.
Oh, she was on Fox Sports, yeah. And then she went to do...
There's so much irony here.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But, I mean, I think the thing with her is she came out and she made comments about Jewish people. She made comments about Mexicans. And then there was and Asians. So she kind of ran the gamut.
Yeah, she was on it was an appearance on Barstool Sports.
But she was trying to fit in. It's a guy culture. When they do those videos on Barstool Sports, it sounds an awful lot like what you're listening to now. There's a lot of guys pushing the envelope. And then when they get a girl in studio, they decide to turn it up a bit to see how far they can get her to go.
Right.
And she bit hook, line, and sinker.
She almost caved. Yeah.
Now,
she sure did.
Some would say she was just trying to say that to fit in with the guys and be one of the guys. Other people say, you know what? She had a couple drinks and it was truth serum, and that's how she really felt about things. Her comments, she made things like, well, her tweets were, the Asians were the smartest ones in school.
Yeah, Kevin loves a little bitch.
Well, he is. But
right. Then I didn't even know Mexicans were that smart.
Yeah, see, you know that like fuzzy line?
Yeah.
That's when she leapfrogged over it.
Yep.
She done pissed off Machine Gun and Machete.
Yeah. And then the Chinese guy is always the smartest guy in the room.
That's right.
Like, those are comments that she was making.
Now,
funny in a different setting.
I think...
Yeah.
But I think they were creating that setting for her, and she had, as a representative of Fox Sports, she had a responsibility to rise above it and be like, guys, I'm not going to play this.
Agree.
They wouldn't have fired her if she just sat there.
That's kind of what I'm saying is they almost set her up. Right? You're from a sports network, you're going on a sports, again, air quotes, show. You got to know where you're at. If she walked into here with us and dropped those lines, we're all laughing, not a big deal.
Yeah. But
And you're welcome here anytime.
Yeah.
But to a point where she, like Brad said, she bit hook, line, and sinker so much that when they were like kind of shocked by what she was saying, she even came out and said, I once called a Jewish customer a stingy asshole. Because she knew the guy wasn't going to, she said the guy started complaining about too much head on his beer, and she knew he wasn't going to tip, so she said to him, oh, that's the first time a guy's ever complained to me about too much head.
This one bothered me because she never actually said he was a stingy Jew.
No, but
She said he was a stingy asshole. He just
Yeah.
happened to be Jewish,
Yeah.
and he actually was stingy.
No, yeah.
I mean, the shoe fits.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that Jewish people are stingy. I'm saying this particular guy was.
yeah.
So I don't think she should have gotten heat for that one.
But why
when-
bring it up?
But
At
when
that point,
when it's wrapped into at the tail end of those other comments about Mexicans and Asians, different story.
Well, I mean, at that point, she had already dove in.
yeah, you're
She-
fucked already.
She's in. So we've learned that relationships aren't easy. Careers aren't easy. What else isn't easy? I believe entertainment isn't easy. Now, the last 20 minutes were entertaining because of Craig, but the best part about it is it's inadvertent. He doesn't mean to entertain us. He
guys.
just fucking does. But we learned this week from David Lee Roth, who just started a Vegas residency with a whole new band,
yep.
that Van Halen might be done. And I know that all of you that were waiting 35 years to get the inevitable announcement are shocked, but Van Halen might be done.
Did we pull this headline from a microfiche in a library?
Yeah.
Wasn't this the plot of Almost Famous?
Jesus.
What the fuck? Yeah, I mean, I loved Van Halen when I was younger, and it stopped about 1984.
All right.
Because, I mean, Sammy Hagar, I got nothing against the guy, whatever. They were good with Sammy Hagar, but they weren't Van Halen.
They were a stadium rock band
Yeah.
with David Lee Roth. They were a solid rock band with Sammy Hagar.
Yeah,
It was
to
a
me-
different type of music.
To me, Van Halen is David Lee Roth and Eddie Van Halen ripping on the fucking guitar and Anthony Michaels going, wow, doing those big screams. You know what I mean? That
That's
was
Michael Anthony.
Michael Anthony, I'm sorry. Anthony Michaels, they said. Yeah.
He was
Michael
in Halen Van.
Yeah. See,
He was Chevy Chase's kid in Vacation, right?
he had a walk-on role in Marvel Agents, Agents Marvel of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He went up to
Bandit World of Wally.
He went up to the redhead and called her Rusty, didn't you?
Jesus Christ.
That's Ward's new movie title, Rusty.
It's awful. I'm awful tonight.
And also because we haven't announced it in 20 minutes, Alan Barr.
Yes.
Not Rusty, top
Not
of his
Rusty.
game.
Yeah. Guy's a badass.
Alan Barr. Holy shit. All right, so we can agree that Van Halen was up until 1984. Van Hagar, different band.
Different band.
Totally different.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Different.
I didn't not like them. I mean, they put out some great tunes, but it wasn't Van Halen. Van Halen was singing about fucking partying and chicks.
Van Halen with Roth is when you're out of the bar and it comes on, everybody's fucking singing and partying.
Yeah.
Van Hagar, when it comes on in the bar, everyone's singing but keeping to themselves,
Yeah.
enjoying it.
Well, and talking about love, because that's what dreams are made of.
That's right.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Tell me why can't this be love? Is because you spent the 4 previous albums talking about all the women you fucked. That's why it can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I was never a huge Van Halen guy. Like any kid, I liked Jump, and I liked Panama and Hot for Teacher. There were so many hits on that album. But tell me a deep cut off of Diver Down. Go.
Secrets. Intruder.
You realize you could just be saying words right now? I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know.
Dive Down was a really good album.
I don't doubt it, and I've heard it, and you know it sounds all like Van Halen. There was even some like pretty heavy shit, from 1979 to 81.
Well,
that was
Dive Down
pretty
had
good.
a lot of the covers when they started doing like Dancing in the Streets and
Yep.
stuff was
Yeah,
on
yeah.
there too. But I mean, like like Intruder is just it's an instrumental, but it's if you heard it, you'd know it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But I mean, all those Van Halen 1, Van Halen 2, those fucking albums were awesome. For the time that they came out, they like Eddie Van Halen kind of set a bar for guitarists at that point.
Okay.
And what's ironic is he doesn't know music. You know that, right? Doesn't know a lick of music.
The funny thing was,
a lot of good guitarists don't know music.
There are guitarists before him that are way better.
Sure.
But he did this thing where he was just like you said, he doesn't know it. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to wail on this fucking thing and see what happens.
He's going to make sounds.
And they worked. And people were like, oh, shit. How'd you do that?
I don't know if he invented them, but I'm pretty sure he popularized the hammer-on.
Like hammer-ons, beating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did a lot of really cool things with the guitar, but he didn't know a lick of music. And he didn't write much. He wrote lyrics, but he taught himself how to play guitar and keyboard by sound only by ear. I think he's basically like illiterate when it comes to music. Alex, the drummer, great musician. The reason I bring those two up is they're the ones with the name Van Halen.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a stage name. Like, that's
their actual name.
They're Dutch.
Yeah.
From what David Lee Roth said in this article is that Alex and Eddie said, you know what, our health is too lousy. You now are bestowed the name Van Halen, and we're going to let you do what you want with it.
Which is incredible to me because they're notoriously unloyal.
Well, I also think that the word is disloyal. And
disloyal. Yes.
And I also think that this is a complete crock of shit. There's no way in hell the Van Halen brothers are giving up ownership to Dave to go to Vegas and play with some shit house band.
Yeah.
So, once again, they can't get along.
No.
When you're in your 60s, how fucking hard is this?
They're pushing 70, I think.
No, well, they were young when they started, though. They were all kids.
They're all in their 60s right now, and they're in their 60s.
If you can afford 4 tour buses, why can't you just get the original band together, go to work, and then go back home?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't particularly like you guys, but we make it work here every fucking Friday. I'm just kidding. I love you, even though I won't be going on that cruise by choice.
But, I mean, they've tried, like...
It was a courtesy invite.
Van Halen started doing things like... like getting, like firing David Lee Roth, and I can understand that you had a disagreement with David Lee Roth or something, and you got rid of him.
I can see
but then you
disagreeing
start
with
doing
him
things,
because he's so outrageous.
Then you get Sammy Hagar, and then you're like, you know what? You and fucking Michael Anthony can fuck off. And Michael Anthony has been a fixture of that band and probably drove that band a lot.
Like, what did he do? Well, he's that guy that everyone hangs out with and no one's mad at.
He had except the Van Halen brothers. You had 2 bosses.
Yeah.
I've got 6. Yeah, he's got 2 bosses. All he's got to do is show up and not try to get writing credit for that one shitty song in 1981. All you got to do is play your Jack Daniels bass at barely an average level.
Yeah.
Just play their fucking music. Go up there and collect your money.
But a lot of those signature Van Halen screams were actually him.
I know. But again, you're hired by people. If the company is named, needless to say, and then some other podcast comes in and tries to do our jokes, they're not getting a full cut.
No, I get it.
Michael Anthony was hired by the Van Halen brothers. David Lee Roth was hired by the Van Halen brothers. David Lee Roth left the band because he didn't feel he got a fair cut. As the singer, you've got a little bit more of an argument than the guy playing the Jack Daniels bass over in the corner trying to get 3 chords out. I'm not knocking Michael Anthony. He's made a nice career for himself doing a bunch of other things with Sammy Hagar. Good for them.
Yeah.
But honestly, you can't get it together in your 60s to do one last tour just to give the fans one more thing and collect a shit ton of money along the way.
A ton of money.
Early on in this show, I proposed a tour, and Van Halen was a part of it. And I think it should be an all-day stadium extravaganza. And I think it should be Kiss, Van Halen, AC/DC, and Judas Priest, and maybe one other band. And again, nothing but stadiums. 90,000 seats or bust. Everybody gets full stage production. Everybody gets a full set. And then everybody signs a contract that agrees they will not make one more ounce of music as that band from that point forward. You get to say goodbye to every major market. Maybe you go to Europe for a couple of festivals, and then you call it a fucking day.
That's it.
Go
Pack
to
it
work.
up.
Go to work. Go to work. Go up there, act like you like them, put your back against them with a sweaty vest on, and seriously just get into it, and then go home.
I show up and work with people I don't like every day.
Every day.
And you work at home like I do.
Yeah.
yeah. yeah.
Craig works with one person.
Yeah. Yep.
But I do. I interact with people every day I don't particularly enjoy. But I'll show up and do it, and I'll bust my ass doing it. If there were people asking me to do it more, I'd be like, all right, great.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man.
And they're like, well, no, but you got to have real emotion with each other on
Like,
stage,
stop
or
it.
it's
No, you
not.
don't.
First of all, I do that dance every day.
Yeah.
Basically, me pretending to agree with my boss on a
Yeah.
conference call is
And-
no different than Michael Anthony rubbing shoulder blades with fucking
Working-
David Lee.
Right.
Working with someone you dislike for 150,000 times less money.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, it's not even people that I dislike. It's just they're just people.
Yeah.
But I have to pretend like I'm a lot more excited about what I'm doing than I really am.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
when I've taught classes that last 3 weeks. I'll
Oh, goddamn.
I'll spend 3 weeks up in front of them from 8 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. pretending to be into it and have a ton of energy and exciting, like,
giving a shit about their
like
results.
It's the
yeah.
first time I've said this, and I've said it 50 times before.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, they left. I need 20 minutes to myself to decompress. Then I drive home, and it's family time, and I'm good to go.
Would you add any bands to that tour? Ooh. What other bands do you think should just tap out and call it a day, but as their classic, I won't even say original, classic lineup, the one that everybody likes?
So you had Van Halen, AC/DC, Kiss, and Priest.
And then I could probably throw Poison in there.
I think that would ruin it.
Well, no, you put them on early. But Kiss ruins it for me. They're horrendous.
I can't stand Kiss. I've never enjoed them. They're not
Nobody at this table likes Kiss.
No, there's probably a lot of tables with people like that around them. It's not just this one in Rhode Island.
Who would you add?
Oh, that's a tough. Are we sticking with that kind of
No, it just so happens
generation or
that's
time frame?
I think to me that the 80s right now is the generation that needs to tap out. I mean, there's these nostalgia tours. You could theoretically throw Foreigner and Journey in there.
Yeah, but with the bands you have lined up, like I think an original Sabbath tour would be cool to throw on there.
Never gonna happen.
No,
they
it
already
won't
did.
happen.
They already did.
I mean, it's been done.
But if we're throwing together this lineup, fuck it, why not?
You would have them say goodbye though. This is it.
See
They're
ya.
all signing that contract.
Done.
Game over.
Yeah.
I'd actually throw one out there right now. I'd put Guns N' Roses. I know they had the
Well,
highest
they're doing
grossing,
it.
but they had
It's
the
happening.
highest grossing tour ever
Yep.
in their history, and not to mention, I think anybody. But I don't think they sounded particularly good, and there's not enough connection to the original band.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion,
Supposedly it just started the new Guns N' Roses tour with
Yeah.
all the original, well, the living original members.
No, Adler's not there.
Oh no, you sure?
He's not there.
But they said
Got
that
some guy named Frank.
yeah, actually they said that Axl Rose sounds better than he ever has.
He has not.
which is unbelievable because he never sounded good. So the
bar is low. The bar is low.
The bar is low.
Yeah.
I've seen him live when they were at their prime, and I was like, he's awful.
We walked out. We saw them and,
Yeah.
and Metallica at
Me
Giant
too.
Stadium.
And I left.
I walked out.
I'd left as well.
Well, after the third guitar solo where Slash was playing the Godfather theme, I said, yeah, this is not why I
Yeah.
stayed up.
Yeah.
This is not why I waited 4 hours for them to come on stage. Metallica was a galvanizing set, if there
Yeah.
ever was one. It was 2 hours solid, pure perfection.
They know how to play to an audience that
yeah.
And then Guns N' Roses came out an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours later, and then they were sloppy as fuck.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, 3 guitar solos in an hour? Goodbye.
Yeah.
And because he's an arrogant fuck. Because he did that. Remember, he was touring with Michael Jackson.
Slash.
Yeah, and he did that like twice. He did it to Michael Jackson on stage, like, and to a point where Michael Jackson's like dancing and stopping and doing like that finishing move, like the thing's gonna end.
Yeah.
And he doesn't end. So then he's like dancing more, and then he does it, and then he's like, "Hey, like, and doing these like finishing moves, like, "Hey," and he's just fucking going, and everybody's like looking at him, like, and they're awful. They're not even. It's not even at that point. It's just fucking bling bling bling, feedback and weird shit.
All of this sounds like Maitland Ward.
Yeah. But
No, that's gash.
now there's a ton of bands that like we should just pack it up and go home.
Hold on. I'm imagining it with a top hat,
Yeah.
sunglasses, and a cigarette hanging out of it.
Crazy curly hair.
Fucking
Yeah.
playing guitar.
Gash solos.
Yeah.
I love it. Gash's Snake Pit.
But
So, Craig, let me ask you. I already asked Dave, and he didn't give me an answer, but who would be on your tour? If you had to add to that list, it was Kiss, Van Halen, AC/DC, and Judas Priest, all-day stadium tour, full sets for everybody, and then bye. Who's on your list that isn't there already?
well, I would say Kiss.
All right, they're already there, but thanks for playing.
Oh, so no, all right. You want me to put
Add on.
add on?
The question
So I'm
was,
adding
who
on.
goes on this tour that isn't there already?
Okay,
I think you could add Metallica on there. We just put on.
I would.
You won't get the original lineup.
Well, no,
'Cause,
classic lineup is what I'm asking for. And
You bring Newstead back, then sure.
you know what? I don't think that's an incremental loss or win either way.
They were never bass heavy,
Nah, it was
And
all
they're-
guitars. So
but I think that would be one to put in there because they're making music that.
I don't know. I like the last album.
Yeah, but how many before that were you like, what is this?
Oh, it's called 20 Years.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anthrax.
Okay.
All right. I'm thinking big though. Anthrax was never a huge band. Anthrax ain't selling out an arena.
They were
no,
they were
no.
known. They weren't big.
Nah, I'm thinking AC/DC sells out a stadium now.
Yeah,
Sure.
Okay, or close to it. You know, honestly,
Aerosmith.
Kiss. Aerosmith's a good one. That's a good call, my friend.
Aerosmith is good. Aerosmith's on there.
That would be a
Worst
good
concert I've ever been to. And I saw Huey
I've seen-
Lewis in the news twice.
I've seen Aerosmith about 6 or 7 times,
one. Really?
and the last 2 times I saw them were there was a reason why it was only the last 2 times I saw them. One time, and I was like, "Oh, that wasn't good." And I said,
You
but
give
I was
him-
like-
you kinda give
and
him a
then-
mulligan,
and
like,
I
all
gave,
right.
and I gave him. I was like, I
It
did.
could have been a bad night.
I did because I seen them a bunch of times and they were always good. And I said, it was just a bad show.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I was like, oh, no, this is a bad show.
now
This
it's a bad
it's just
band.
a bad band. Yeah.
They weren't
Pack it
good
up.
then. I'm sorry. They wrote one good song in 80 years.
They got some good tunes.
Toys in the Attic, and then that's it. Which is also Maitland Ward's new video.
Yeah. Who else? Who else?
Dave's got to give me one. Dave hasn't given me one.
I gave you Sabbath.
But that's wrong. You gave me Sabbath and Metallica.
Oh, you said Judas Priest.
Yeah, a priest I like, but they're done. And they
Trying
went
to
out
think
on
of-
a good album.
Trying to think of like big bands that everybody knows.
Stones.
Well, Rolling Stones should have fucking
No,
been done.
they don't
a long
deserve to
time
be
ago.
on that ticket.
They don't.
No,
They should have been done.
never.
Never.
Should
Like,
stayed across the
they
ocean.
should have stopped in the 70s.
I'd give them 40 minutes in the beginning to play for the guys who are still buying the beer. I think that would be the amount of respect I want to give the Rolling fucking Stones.
That was another band. I saw the Rolling Stones on the Steel Wheels tour. I think it was. Is that what it was?
Yeah, 86 was a good year. I was 10.
No, it was in the it was in the mid 90s or
It
mid
was-
to late 90s. No, Steel Wheels.
It was 1986.
No, it wasn't.
Go ahead, phone boy. Look it up. You got your iPad right in front of you.
I was young, but I wasn't that young.
In 1986.
So it must have been It must have been like something else.
Yeah, it was a 12-year tour.
That was that's Rusty Wheels is what you're
No,
thinking of.
but it was. They were awful, awful. It was fucking awful. I was like, this is god awful. It was like you got a bunch of guys that weren't really good musicians and never played together and said, "Hey, jam a Rolling Stones tune," and they all knew pieces of it. Like that's what it was like. The whole show, and then just one guy running around going, with this giant fucking pie hole, fucking and wearing knee pads. Fucking, that was perfect. Him wearing knee pads was perfect.
All right, let's split the difference. It was 1989.
89.
I'll give you that.
All right, yeah, no, because I was in high school, so yeah,
9 right.
He was in his 7th year of high school.
no,
I was buying beer for everyone.
yep.
In high school.
No, I was in high school, and I remember that because I went with Joey, Joey and Steve and stuff. But yeah, I mean, another band. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now that fast.
Yeah,
Aerosmith is definitely one
That's a
band
good one.
that needs to stop.
I want everybody to pause for the shock that Craig couldn't think of anything that fast. All right.
I'm like
Drunk.
stunned still.
Drunk.
By Alan Barr.
Oh my
No.
God.
All right.
I'm flying high still.
I think we need to start wrapping this bad boy up. We did talk about bands that need to kind of go away. We mentioned Kiss more than once, and there's a reason for that, and they just gave us one today.
Yes.
Today. Kiss is going to play an underwater show in a submarine for sharks in the ocean. And the best part of the headline is that they needed to indicate the sharks were going to be in the ocean.
Yeah.
As opposed to that fucking water park where the kids are falling into the pool and banging their heads and getting scrapes and AIDS and doing all that other stuff. And then the Kiss was just going to be waiting in the deep end playing fucking rock and roll all night.
The worst
You got to
part
distinguish
is
between that and sharks in a house.
the way they wrote the article is you thought that Kiss was going to go in a submarine and play underwater with these people.
Right.
They're not.
No.
No, when you find out exactly how it is, Kiss is going to be on a barge. And they're going to play with speakers that are mounted under the boat. Right?
So they're going to just
So that the
project the audio into the ocean?
into the ocean. Then they're going to lower the audience into the ocean in a submarine. Now, the audience is 8 people because that's the size of the submarine.
And that's also all they got left.
Right?
It's
And
it's all their wives
but
and
they're
one
gonna,
kid.
They're going to do it in a section that's known for great white shark activity in Australia. Right? So they sold the tickets for $50 each and then said, you know what? We're going to donate it all to charity. So $400.
The submarine rental costs $600.
Yeah.
600. It's a submarine. It's a $10,000 rental.
They're going to donate $400 to fucking... But even that, now that I think about it, because they said all proceeds from the show will go to charity. There's none.
Yeah.
No.
They're not going to donate anything.
They're sending an
using
invoice to the
it's
charity.
It's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
The whole show is a tax write-off. These guys are fucking... I was a fan as a kid. I really was. I loved Kiss. The makeup, the fucking the pyrotechnics.
because you didn't know what good music was
I didn't
when
know
you
what
were a
it
kid.
was. And it was, I want to rock and roll all night, and they were wearing makeup and stomping around these fuck Kiss.
They're awful.
Fuck it. They're awful people. They're not even awful band. They're awful fucking people.
They should donate the proceeds to buy Ace Frehley a new used car.
Yeah, and even that. Look at but even that. Look at Ace
got
Frehley and
steel
Peter Criss.
wheels.
These are guys that the original members of the band who've wanted to go on these tours with them, and they won't. And I've met Ace Frehley more than once, and actually hung out with, like, not just met him like backstage, like actually hung out with him.
And what did you do with them backstage?
I played Sega golf.
Yes.
And he loved it. He was obsessed with it. But
You want to know why he got kicked out?
the thing was, I hung out with Ace Frehley, and he told me a story about when they first kicked him out of the band.
Yeah.
Gene didn't want to kick him out of the band. He wanted him to stay.
Okay.
And Paul was like, no, fuck him, blah, blah, blah. It was like an argument type thing. And granted, and Ace Frehley even said, he goes, I was a mess. I was on drugs. I was drinking all the time. He goes, it was my fault. I wasn't. He goes, but I was going to clean up and do my thing. And all I said, because I guess him and Paul really went at it, and Paul said some nasty shit to him. So he said, I just wanted to apologize to me. And they got into the limo, and fucking Paul wouldn't even look at him. Never talk to him, wouldn't even look at him. And Gene was trying to say, hey, like let's kind of keep the band together, type thing. And Paul Stanley wouldn't even fucking look at him. So he said he got out of the van, he went in the hotel, that was it was over.
Wow.
And that's what. And then they tried to get back together years later, and they play it off like, oh, this wasn't working. That, and it's never been that. It's always been those guys are fucking assholes. They were paying them fucking minimum wage basically as a rock star. Minimum wage when they did that tour with the original members.
Yep.
Those guys made nothing. Ace Frehley and Peter Criss made nothing.
Really?
Those guys were keeping all. Yeah.
No shit.
Technically, in the contract, they weren't part of Kiss.
They were just a tour musician.
Yes.
No shit.
Yep. So talk about unloyal people, like I said about Van Halen.
Disloyal.
Disloyal.
I would tell
yes.
you to check your notes, but
No.
it's just scratches on paper.
But talk about that, like, they're fucking douchebags.
Yeah, they're douchebags.
And to do this, and then Paul Stanley's like, well, I hear that fucking, he's like, Great White Sharks listen to low frequency, and so that means they like rock and roll.
So stupid.
I
Shut
can't
up.
wait for the Sharks to all leave and become sterile.
I wish somebody would fucking hold him down and wax his fucking chest. Just out of the blue, like fucking in an alley. And just so he could come out, and when he was wearing his fucking, you could see his saggy fucking nipple tits. And fucking looks like an old fucking man. And you can see his fucking hip surgery scars. Fuck him.
And then he goes, this one's called Forever.
Yeah.
I'm expecting schools of gefilte fish to show up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a free show, right?
It's fucking so stupid. Like, but the fact that they made, and we're gonna donate everything to charity, and then they tell you how it was first come, first serve. The tickets were $50, and there's 8 people.
Wait,
Are you
hold on. I
fucking
think
kidding me?
Gene Simmons with a net worth of $680 million, he's going to match it.
Yeah.
But that's right. That would have, yeah. That would do same thing, just as bad.
I once had a bar tab bigger than that donation.
That's what I mean. It's like, what the fuck? To say that is just, to me, blows my mind how fucking stupid they are.
It's ridiculous. The whole
Dickheads
thing's
that they are.
ridiculous.
I hope they headline that tour that I proposed and that everybody just leaves.
Leaves before
And
they're
I
set. That'd be amazing.
All I hope for is that there's one great white shark that is like the great white sharks that are in all the movies that I love, and it leaps out of the water.
Oh, I thought you were going to say fake.
Yeah,
Well, they're that too.
but it leaps out of the water and bites both their heads off at the same time.
It makes
That
it
would be
safely back into the
fantastic.
water.
And yes, of course,
just at
I
the
don't wanna hurt
moment
the
where he's
shark.
blowing fire.
Yeah.
So the shark drags him into the water with fire coming out of the shark's
Yeah,
mouth.
yes, that would be fucking epic.
Blaze of glory. And then
Yeah.
we'll bury him in one of those fucking obnoxious Kiss caskets that
Yes.
you can get at Costco.
Yep, pack it up, send them off.
Kiss sucks. And if you like Kiss, you also suck. That's what we're trying to say without saying it. I'll say it for you. That's that.
And I was a Kiss fan up until
The age of reason.
yeah.
That's a
starting,
and
I
that's
was
a-
starting to wear on. They're starting to wear on me with their gimmicky fucking.
Never a Kiss
This
fan.
is-
They don't make great music. They
No.
don't.
They don't make good music.
No.
They
No,
wrote
they-
one song I like.
They made what it was think about when they were really popular.
They look
Was the
different.
70s was the 70s. That's when they were really popular.
When everybody was on drugs.
And
All right,
everybody, well,
but-
not only that, but they did something totally different. They progressed things. They did
They
something completely
looked
different.
Very different. They didn't make any different music.
And no,
Wrote the
but-
same songs.
No,
Yes.
but they-
Everybody else was
I
writing.
get that, but it was generic songs that were like the Nickelback of the 70s. They had a formula to write in songs that can be played on the radio that were like, hey, these are fun party songs, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they pushed it. I mean, granted, I'll give them props for being fucking marketing geniuses because they've pushed it to 2019.
Sure. All right.
You know,
I think people go out of obligation now, but nobody there is, hey, we got a new track. Nobody cares.
No.
Nobody wants to hear Psycho Circus.
No,
Nobody
it's
wants
awful.
to hear all those fucking songs. They're a terrible band. And then the worst part about it is if you were a rock fan in the 70s for a lot of people were when the best rock was ever written, or at least
Yeah.
born, right? Kiss said, you know what? Disco's big now. We're going to write a disco album.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? Nobody likes our makeup anymore, so we're going to take it
the
off.
makeup off.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then, you know what? Hair metal's big, so we're going to write a bunch of big old ballads. And then in the late 80s, early 90s, when shit started getting towards grunge and heavier things, they said, we're going to write Revenge, and that's going to be our heavy album. And then they're going to come back and say, well, you know what? We're not doing anything original anymore, so we're going to do a 24-year reunion tour.
Yeah. Yep.
That involves 2 replacement members, and yet they're still fucking doing it.
They're the biggest sellouts. They define the word sellout.
But you know what? They're going to sit there and say, we never wanted to be musicians. We wanted to be rock stars.
Yeah.
And in that sense, they won.
They won.
Because people still pay good fucking money to go see these clowns. But yeah, and I say it ironically because I know they're painted up like fucking kabuki warriors. But they're a bunch of fucking clowns. They're a horrible band. If you like them, you're wrong. And that's that. So let's get into what should be the bright side of what turned out to be a very negative discussion of music. Huh?
Yeah, right? Fuck them.
Really kind of went down a dark road there.
That's kind of funny. Speaking of dark roads,
Yes.
I think I know where we're going.
Yep.
Well, and nobody better to lead this one off than you, pal.
So apparently, transplanting poop can be beneficial, but swapping vaginal fluids may be even better.
Yep.
This is an actual headline from an actual story.
Now, the funny thing is, when I saw this headline, you guys have posted this headline, I had talked to my sister, Kaylin, who's a nurse.
Tell me she's moved poop from one butt to another.
She's at fecal, she said fecal transplants. They do them all the time.
Yeah, I do it all the time between my driveway and my bathroom, but
I was going to say, Dave's got a doctorate in there.
And
invented this.
And apparently it's like beneficial for people and stuff. And I'm like, what? You fucking taking poop from one person and putting it in another person? She's like, yeah.
Really?
Like, really? How do, like,
what, do you have to like feed the one person a bunch of cheese for a week before you can move it? And
like, I don't know.
By the way, you guys are paying royalties every time you say poop on this fucking show. You're paying them to my wife.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing like a bunch
Who's
of
the
Civil War
donor?
soldiers like stuffing cannonballs in a cannon.
Like, you're going to find one grass-fed
Musket.
dude.
It's a muzzle loader.
But she told me about this. I was blown away by it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, no, yeah. She's like,
This is real. This isn't
Yeah.
from The Onion.
and no. And then this article was out.
It
and
is, though.
Yeah.
The dirty onion.
The dirty onion. Yeah.
Bad show. I'm going to let it go. Let it go.
Yeah,
Die.
let it go.
Die.
Yeah,
I was
Let
going to
it
say
die.
after a few
Just let it
transplants,
die.
it's a bloomin' onion.
But, yeah.
That's better.
Go ahead. This is serious.
No, but
Your sister stuffing poop?
This is true. And now they're talking about vaginal fluid swapping. So, what's her name? Fucking Ward.
Pornhub has a whole channel
there's tons
dedicated
of
to
that.
that.
They're the healthiest people on earth. Because again, when he's got them stacked like fucking plates on top of each other, and he's going one to the next and up and down. Transplant.
I was just thinking Erica and all her scissor sisters have the best immune systems in the world.
Yes, right? Exactly. Exactly.
And by the way, Erica, Dave made me do it. That was totally a frame job.
Anyway,
what we were thinking for the bright side, since we're talking all this serious shit about Craig's family's experience with poop transplants,
Right?
is that what would some potential medical pharmaceutical names for these treatments be? And Craig, lead off.
I had Chan shits.
how about a little ibuprofen?
Nice. I had Booster Turtle.
This one was more of the procedure. It was called add a shit to me.
I'm fine. Just give me a little aspirin.
Sometimes the simplest ones are the best. I had Smellbutrin.
This was the donor of the procedure was take a shit out of me.
I just need a bottle of anal essence.
And I need 4 cc's of my holes are flapping.
I'll take a 10 milligram Poopadol.
You're just gonna pop a front buttock hole.
And endorsed by members of this show is Shadavan.
Also, Dumpixol.
If it starts to hurt, just rub some Vicks Gaper rub on it.
I thought a heavy dose of lidocaine.
Yeah. If you're feeling depressed, you could take some Pooloft.
And if you want to sleep, just take some Bendenfill.
I only got one left, but I can't imagine a better way for me to tap out than Dripator.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing cures anything like Pupacillin.
If it's a little raw, just rub some Acitracin on it.
My last one was Dave Shorts is all.
On any other night, I'd say, you know what? That's where we tap out.
No, but
Dave's got it.
Dave's got it.
And Craig's sister now prescribing Probitussin.
Yeah. There it is. Gentlemen, slow clap. Really well done. Really well done. Not one of us made a vag joke.
No.
Well, stay tuned for next week.
Exactly.
And
I was going to call it Lipitor.
Flapitration would have worked. I'm trying to find a drug that rhymes with curtains.
Gastritracin.
I think we've conceded that we all know that tracin works for every kind of... If it's in and around the genital, you can make a tracin out of it. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty fucking... Ask your doctor if needless to say is right for you.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a little bit of housekeeping because this is where I shine. Yeah, despite what you just listened to, buy our shit. Not our shit medicine, just our shit. You want to go to represent.com/store/NTS podcast. I keep promising you new shirts and I keep lying to you, but the things are going to start happening. We do have some catchphrases that I've been kind of playing with some designs. This whole Comic-Con thing is kind of taking up our time right now, but it is going to happen. I know that we took one design off that somebody actually asked me about, and there's a good reason for it. I won't get into it, but the shirt will be back and it will be better. In addition, check us out on social media. We made a promise to each other today that we're actually going to fucking do this.
Yeah.
And so it is on Twitter at NTS_podcast, on Facebook at NTS_podcast, and on Instagram where Craig met his hero.
Yes. Yes.
And say it with me now, all lowercase, needless to say, podcast on Instagram. It's as subtle as Craig. And that's about it. Craig, tell us a little bit about Endeavor, please.
If you're looking to start a podcast or have a podcast and looking for some help editing or whatever you need with it, or maybe some ideas to move you forward, go to EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. They've got everything you need, and they'll take care of you.
And Dave, I want you to say something positive.
Oh, I got nothing. I love you guys.
Thanks, dude.
It's really fucking heartwarming. Needless to say, we said it.